Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by Money Stocks. Today is Monday, August 19, 2013. What an important morning this is. We'll start off with the S&P 500 E-mini futures. You'll see that the futures are trading lower by just about 1 point. Not really declining all that much ahead of the opening bell. But there is something that we do want to take note of, and that's the 10-year bond yield, which has really made a new high here. Traded as high as 2.86%. Now pulling back a little bit, trading right around 2.83, 2.84%. Bond yields making a new high, and that generally will affect real estate stocks, will affect a lot of the mortgage REITs, also commercial real estate and utilities. So it's going to be very, very important to see where this thing settles out today. Does it roll over here, or does it make a new closing high? So today I think the focus is going to be on the 10-year bond yield, looking at the U.S. Treasury Note, and we'll see where this thing settles out. But I have to think personally this should get to at least 2.9%, possibly 3%, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But either way, new highs on the 10-year bond yield should be noted this morning, and pretty decent pop for that at that. When we take a look at some of the stocks, though, that are out here, let's just take a look at Lennar Corp. Really not having any kind of negative reaction right now. Simon Property Group, which is also a commercial real estate play, not really surging lower. Not seeing a whole lot of action ahead of the opening bell. So it's going to be important to see how these equities, at least the home builders and the real estate plays, commercial real estate stocks, how they react once the opening bell rings. But this is certainly a big push, certainly a new high, and should be noted. This could be in focus today. Now, if it rolls over by some chance, hey, then real estate stocks will get a bid, utility stocks as well. But if this goes higher into the 2.9% level, you have to think any move higher in real estate stocks is going to be halted, and those equities in the mortgage area, real estate area, can all move lower. So we'll see where it is. Again, we'll see if the 10-year bond yield can get up to that 2.9% level. All right, let's take a look at a couple of other things out here. Last night in Asia, I think that was pretty important. For the most part, you had the Nikkei 225 and the Shanghai Composite both finished higher by about 0.8%. There really wasn't any major problems out there in the Shanghai or in the Nikkei. If we take a look at the daily chart here, I'm going to pull up the Nikkei 225. You'll see that was up a little bit. Pull up the Shanghai, that was up about 0.8%. Caught a little bit of a bid, especially coming off of that flash spike that we had on Friday, and then the market actually finishing lower on the session. Today, the Shanghai actually finished higher. But where the problems really stand out, in my opinion, really were in some other indexes like Thailand, and also in the Jakarta index. Jakarta was down 5.5% last night. The Thailand set was down around 3.25% last night. So you definitely had some turbulence in the Asian markets. I know it's not going to get a lot of play today, but if you watch the THD today, which is an ETF for the iShares Thailand ETF, watch this one a little bit later. You're going to see already this closed around 77. It's going to open up around $75.46. So sharply lower. Also, if you look at the EIDO, which is the iShares Indonesian index, this is going to trade down as well, down to around 26. So maybe it will affect the U.S. markets, maybe it won't, but it's telling you there's a lot of turbulence and rumbling and grumbling going on in the Asian markets right now, and that could come into play down the road a little bit. Also, India last night really wasn't all that strong either. I believe last night, if I'm not mistaken, I just want to make sure I have my numbers here correct. But last night, it looks like India rolled over as well, down another 1.5%. Now, this Bombay Sensex index has really come under pressure, so you got to be careful here with the Indian ADRs. You could look at equities like the PIN. You can see that's sharply lower. That's the Power Shares India portfolio. Also, the IFN, which is India Fund. That's still holding steady, but that could come under further pressure. as well going forward. So we're going to have to watch the Asian markets. They could be in play. Now, when I look at the European markets this morning, not really that big a deal, with the exception of the FTSE MIB, which is Milan. Milan right now down about 1.8%. Now, Italy has been soaring and roaring. It's overbought, so I don't know if we want to make too much out of it, but a 1.8% move lower should catch the attention of traders. So let's watch the EWI this morning. Not really having much of an effect in the pre-market, but let's see how this trades out today. I think you could probably, this could probably be in for a good pullback today. But the Milan market definitely coming under pressure, down about 1.8% before the opening bell, and that should be noted. That's a pretty decent decline overall. So that's where we are. When we look at the German DAX this morning, which I think is the most important index in Europe, it's only down about 0.3%. The London FTSE, remember England can print their own money, down about 0.4%. That index is not really showing all that much strength. And Spain is down 1.4%. So Europe is coming under a little bit of pressure today. That should be noted. Very, very important to watch that going forward. So we'll see how that all plays out. Looking at some stocks here this morning, I'm not really seeing all that much activity. Mondays have a tendency to be a little bit on the slower side. So there are a few movers out here, but nothing all that sensational. So we'll have to just watch this closely. Looking at gold and oil this morning, though, I think that's always very, very important. Right now, when you look at crude, I believe light sweet crude today is trading down about 75 cents to 106.55. So if you look at the USO this morning, you'll see the USO trading around 38.10. So crude is dropping, and that's even despite the Egyptian conflict that is going on. So you do have a nice little fall in light sweet crude. That is trading down about 73 cents to 106.56 a barrel. Looking at gold today, gold is basically flat, just up $1 at the moment. So if you're looking at the GLD, there shouldn't be all that much activity, and you're seeing that holding pretty much flat from the close. So again, gold is up $1. I think gold has a lot of resistance here. We'll need to consolidate a little bit before moving higher. Then gold looks like it's in pretty good shape, but right now just a little bit overbought in the near term. So be a little bit careful there. Also, a lot of gold miners could also be due for a little bit of a pullback. They've had an amazing run as of late, really in the past month, or you could say the past 6 weeks. The GDX, which is gold miners ETF, has gone from basically $22 to $30. So now you have to look for at least some kind of consolidation in that sector. So we'll see how that plays out going forward. These markets are not out of the woods by any stretch. Last Friday, the overall indexes, if you take a look at the S&P 500, really did not finish off that strongly. And today, it's really not showing us a lot of strength. So we could be in for some lower prices ahead. It is a Monday, though. The volume will be very, very light. So you have to be a little bit careful there. I think we got about 2 gap plays this morning. They'll be posted up in the chat room around 9 a.m. So watch for that. Also, watch those ADRs that I showed you, the IFN, the THD, the PIN, and the EIDO. All could be turbulent, could be volatile this morning, and we'll see how it plays out. All right, with that said, everybody, I'm going to leave it there, short and sweet. Remember, 10-year bond yield making new highs today. I don't know how much higher it can go, but either way you slice it or dice it, this is in play at the opening bell. So be a little bit careful here. 10-year bond yields moving higher. That is a negative for real estate. That is a negative for mortgage REITs. That is a negative for utilities. Okay, higher yields will hurt those equities. If they start to fall, those equities, though, will catch a bid, and that's what you want to watch for. With that said, I want to wish you all a great trading day, and I'll see you all on the charts.